streaming thing soon enough. Alright, got all these videos on the side paused, and we are ready to rock and roll. Let's make sure we got everything in place. We have the webcam. We have audio. It's not muted, thank goodness. We have desktop audio. We have the game. This is Expedition 33. Otherwise known as Clear Obscure Expedition 33, but this is the Shooty Shoot Expedition, where our goal is to shoot everything into oblivion. That's right. We're not going to use any regular abilities, no counterattacks, none of that stuff. All we're doing is using the shooting. And we died to Simon. No surprise there. I die to Simon a lot, no matter what kind of playthrough I'm doing. But we're going to try an actual Simon battle this time and take it seriously. Not that we didn't last time, but I'll claim to take it more seriously this time. Let's see if we have what it takes to beat Simon. Now, I might want to switch over and use Verso, because he's really good, and just sticking with the characters that I want may not be the best play here. I may just want to pick the characters that are the best suited for the fight, regardless of whether or not I can take advantage of their unique mod outfits. You guys ready for this? Okay, here we go. We got Simon. Oh, I didn't mean to parry. I'm supposed to be dodging. Oh, barely got that one. Interesting that he went first. Excuse me. I wonder what's going on, because normally I go first, but apparently now Simon's taking his turns first. All right, this is the Shooty Shoot Expedition. We are only allowed to shoot. Shoot him in the head. All right, so that's given about 17,000. That's okay. The good news is he does not reel back much, so you can continue to shoot him right there in his head without too much trouble. Most enemies reel back so much that you end up missing if you shoot too quickly. Mile gets a second turn. We'll try to get as many good headshots in there as we can. This is the easy phase, guys. This is the easy phase. It doesn't get easier than this phase. I can't parry everything because no counterattacks are allowed, so I have to dodge a lot to prevent counterattacks. I might swap out Lune for Verso, because her ability to shoot two enemies at once is completely useless in this fight. You only ever fight Simon by himself, so it does no good to shoot a second enemy when there isn't one. Now, let me tell you something. This is my damage dealer right here. Maybe Verso can be almost as good as him. All right, he's out on his first turn. We'll go for a second turn, but Minoko can do some real damage. Unfortunately, we can't follow up with regular abilities. It's tempting to hit that button to do a counterattack, but that is not what we're here for. No counterattacks are allowed. We have to go only shooting. Okay. All right, Simon. You've seen the end. It's in sight. Maybe not today or tomorrow or the next day. Maybe not anytime soon, but we're going to try our best to make this happen. It's sad that it's taking this long to tackle him in just his easy form in his first phase. I probably need to stack up some other Lumina, look up a better build, because it's taking so long just to take out his first phase that's not a good sign for the second phase. That means the second phase is going to be brutal. We would have to dodge and or parry so much that I'm just bound to make mistakes. I'm good at parrying in this game. I'm not that good. Simon puts all of your parrying, dodging skills to the test like no one else. I usually shoot a lot faster, but I have to take my time. Meggy, welcome. How's it going, man? Good to see you again. I usually shoot faster, but the problem here is if I shoot too fast, I'll miss his head. And I'm trying to get headshots to do more damage. So I got to make sure I don't miss. I don't want to miss with too many hits here. This may be looking promising, but that's because this is the easy first phase. Oh, I'm surprised that counted as a perfect. I thought I hit it way too early. I'm so not used to the timing on dodges, but it's more open timing, so it's fine. It looks like I don't have the Lumina. Well, maybe I do. Maybe I have the Lumina equipped for doing more damage under 30% health. If you know what you're doing, you can hit that head pretty quick. Like I said, guys, don't get your hopes up on this. This is the easy first phase. Oh, I was way off on that one dodge, but it still counts. Oh, he got me. Well, she's back, fortunately. Okay, so he's down on the first phase. But again, the first phase is nothing. First phase is like the warm-up. And when I say it's just the warm-up, it really is true. He gets a massively larger health pool, and he does much more powerful attacks. And the music gets more intense. Okay, I got those. Dodges are easier, of course. We're already at 1 health, dude. No need to do that. Oh, I hate this one. Oh, I screwed it up on the first one. I always think he's going to hit sooner than he does. That's not good. But I could still revive her. I just got to waste a turn for it. But it's worth it. Ideally, you shouldn't have to be... oh, she auto-revived. That's right. She has the thing where she revives after 1 shot. Okay. We broke him. Oh, we broke him because he killed one of us. Anytime one of us dies, it auto-fills the break bar, which is extremely useful on Simon. We're doing much more damage now that he's broken, but he's going to come out of it fat. Oh, yes! Monoko gets to hit him while he's broken. Hell yeah. That's some good damage. That first one was, at least. Oh, I missed a whole bunch right there. Dang it. It moves the cursor around a little bit. Like a real gun might kind of move around, so you can't just continue to hold it in place. You got to, like, control the gun and keep it aimed at it. Feels lame to dodge, gotta tell you. I'd much rather parry, but I don't want to risk parrying and get so caught up into it that I forget to dodge at the end, and then I end up doing a counterattack. Yeah, Lune is not doing enough damage. I mean, Lune's doing chip damage on this guy. Might want to swap out Lune for Verso. Maybe he can kill one of us again, and then we'll break him by dying. No counterattacks. Gotta pass up the opportunities. Kind of sucks, but whatever. Alright, like, we're doing this so far, but again, he's gonna get harder. He gets even harder once you get him down to, like, a 3rd health. He goes into a sort of 3rd phase. Ah, shit. I missed one. I got cocky. I'm in trouble. Oh, no. He's... Okay, well. Lune's out. That sucks. That's going to really slow things down. Oh, I dodged way too early. Surprised that didn't kill me. I have not mastered the timings on this guy yet, as you've noticed. But because he killed one of us, he is now broken, although he's going to come back before my else turn, unfortunately. I saw someone do a shooting run of this guy, and they did so much more damage than me. They got a much better setup than I do. Well, he's no longer stunned. That sucks. Yeah, that is just not enough damage. If I did twice that much damage, it would still be too low. Getting a lot of hits, but this dude has a F-ton of health. As you probably noticed here. The burn is what's going to get him. Oh, man. Look how soon I dodge on that. I'm terrible at that move. Why am I so bad at that one move? Yeah, whatever. Steal all my health. You'll kill me in one shot anyway. Doesn't matter. And Minoko's out. I'm screwed. Okay, that one's fairly easy because it's the exact same as phase 1, except it has a follow-up sword attack after each sword attack. So it's not a big deal. My only hope is to stack maximum burn and have them just pop hard. But it's just not happening. It's Mael by herself. Oh, I dodged an extra time at the end, but it was okay. Ever had those bacon-flavored mice chips? Mice? I don't think so. I've had a lot of bacon-flavored things. My wife and I try not to eat anything with what they call seed oils. And most of the snacks and chips and pre-processed or processed foods have seed oils. I occasionally would eat like at a restaurant because it's unavoidable. But for home purposes, I buy what I like to refer to as healthy junk food. Okay, that wasn't bad. I got his health down okay if I had my other teammates with me. But he's going to take so many turns from my every one turn. That also is an easy one. It mirrors the first phase, except the follow-up sword attack. That one's not too bad, as long as you've mastered the first phase version. Oh, shit, I wasn't even paying attention. I thought he was going to do that stupid chroma move. I think Mael will get back up. Negative. I mean, we could send in the reserve team, but I think he'll wipe us when he gets to a third anyway. So, for those that don't know, once you get him to about a third health, his next move will be to wipe your entire party. Insta-wipe your entire party, the 3 characters, if they're still alive, they all die. There's no avoiding it. You can't dodge, you can't parry. Dead. And then you have to bring in your reserve team. There is a way around it, but it involves having to actually kill him from above about a third health all the way to 0 in one shot. Because the next chance he gets to have a turn, your whole party's wiped instantly. We don't have any challenges on. Okay, we can go do something else because Simon's going to be an endless battle, man. Took me quite a while to beat him. Even legitimately with like all skills that I had. You know what? I have not announced this stream yet. So let's go to X.com, formerly known as Twitter. X, the social media site formerly known as Twitter. And let's announce our presence. We've got to find this little doodad to attach to it. Where did I put that thumbnail? There it is. Boom. We're live on YouTube and Twitch with the free aim only run of Expedition 33. Link in reply. I hate that you have to put links in the reply in order to avoid them getting deboosted. If you put the link in your tweet, that tweet will be deboosted because it has a link. Which sucks, but whatever. Okay, so Z key to bring up SKA, jump to go in the air, shift to go fast. It's like a 3-key process here. Now the performance here is usually, well, it's always a lot better when I'm not streaming. So I don't want you thinking that the game is this poorly optimized, in the stuttering too. This is the worst stuttering I've seen in a while, but I really do believe that is mostly due to the live stream eating up a lot of resources, because OBS, webcam, all this stuff eats up system resources. Although it usually doesn't stutter this horrifically awful. This is the worst stutter I've ever had in the game, but whatever. Let's just kill these guys. It won't be tough. So Maggie, why'd you ask about the bacon chips? You eating those right now? There's a lot of bacon flavored stuff out there. Got that one a one shot? Oh, that's not a one shot enemy. All right. Shields don't matter. We eat right through those. Oh, I almost had him with my L in the first round. Shields are irrelevant. There we go. That's how you do it. That's the way you do it. Your chroma for nothing, and your chicks for free. Oh. We got a lost Gestrel. And Monoko learned a new ability. I'm not a big fan of Monoko. I've never been able to get him to do much damage, so I pretty much always neglect him. I've only once gotten... Oh, this guy will be interesting. So this is a fairly interesting fight. The longer it goes on, the more times he'll repeat his attack over and over and over again, to where you might be dodging or parrying his attack like 12, 15 times in a row. So you may see what I mean. It depends on how quickly we kill him. I never realized he blinks. How does he blink? He has no eyelids. I have no eyelids and I must blink. Alright, that was 2 times, right? So let's see if he survives this. Oh, hell yeah, he will. Let me see. Does he have a weak point? Nah. It doesn't seem to matter whether I hit him in the face or the leg. And I don't see a glowing weak point. What about the eyeball? Nope. Well, no. Okay, this is going to be a long fight, guys. This is going to be about as long as Simon, except a lot easier to dodge. Although, I could purposely let him kill one of my characters to break him, because when one of my characters dies, it fills his break bar all the way. However, I don't think he does any one-target moves. He targets everybody. So I'm not sure how to get him to kill one of us without the others potentially dying as well. Monoko, my damage dealer. He has a weapon that doubles his free aim shot damage, making him one of the best for a free aim build. Although I think most people prefer Verso. So you notice he's increasing the number of times he attacks in a row, and that'll just go up and up and up and up. Normally I parry them all, but you know how it is, guys. I can't do parries. I can't counterattack. Alright, this is doable. Especially once he breaks, we'll do a lot more damage. He's going to keep increasing the number of attacks in a row. I don't know if he tops out. I'm assuming he does. I hope so. I hope I don't have to dodge him like 50 times in a row. I can probably do it. It's just a marathon run. This is mouse and keyboard, guys. That makes the free aim shooting even more fun. Oh, Monoko, you ran out too early, dude. Not bad, not bad. It was okay. He only ever does, I think, the same move. I've never seen him do anything else. That's his one and only move. He's a one-trick pony. There we go. We broke him. We're doing good damage, but not as much as I'd like. Don't come out of it. Oh, come on now. Man, some of these guys come out of that stun way too soon. It's like their very next turn, they're out. Maggie says, everything seems to have rapeseed oil and soy lecithins nowadays, unless premium price or homemade. Yes. Canola oil, vegetable oil, grapeseed oil, rapeseed oil, soybean oil. All of these are seed oils. It's in just about everything that comes prepackaged or cooked at a restaurant, unfortunately. All right. I think we got this. As long as I don't F up too badly. You get the same music that plays when you fight Goblu. Which is interesting. Messed up that second dodge, but not so badly I took damage. Alright, we're getting close to breaking him a second time. This is not going to be as bad as I thought. Now, the best case scenario is I break him, and then it's Minoko's turn, because he does the most damage. If we're going to have anybody shoot him after he breaks and is stunned, I want it to be Minoko. Assuming he can hold out with enough hits. Well, it's not going to be Minoko. Okay. It was my L once. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Whoa, he's still stunned. I love it. Look at that. Almost 134,000 per hit. Still not doing a lot to his health bar. It's moving it, but not a lot. Oh, yeah. That fire is doing some good damage. Okay, we got that. He does not do it at an even pace either. Like, he has two different timings on when he comes down, so you really got to be paying attention. You can't just hit the dodge or parry at the same pace the whole way through. It doesn't work, because he'll go up, hit you, come back up, and then come back down a little bit faster, and then go back to his normal speed. Shooting him right in the nose. All right, we got mark on him. It's the little things that increase damage, like a 20% increase. Better than nothing. Minoko running out again. Feel like I maybe didn't equip everything on him I should have. Lumina-wise. Alright, he's going to get his chance to bounce. Oh, man, the game stuttered briefly. I swear it was the game stuttering and not me. Okay, I got all but one. It's hard to be perfect, guys. Mael's the one that can last the longest. I wonder why. She has the endurance, the stamina. She just keeps going and going. Felt like it stuttered again, but maybe that's just me. Fortunately, he does very little damage. Alright, we got double mark on him. The blue mark is it's like the double version. You have to hit it, turn it into a red one, then hit it again before it goes away. Alright, he's broken. We got this. Come on, Minoko. You gonna take us to the end, Minoko? This is your chance to shine, buddy. That's it. Minoko carried us. He knew what he was doing. We dealt 41 million damage. Let's see if there are any items hidden around here. Really, it's irrelevant, though, because I've gotten everything there is to get in this game. The Coastal Cave. We'll check it out. What's in the Coastal Cave?
Who's going to upgrade our Pictos now?
I can do it.
Interesting. Let's go talk to the chef, see if we can get that ability to bust up paint spires. Now that we've discovered one more of his gestrals. Yep, that's it. I thought so. I think it's at 4 you get the ability. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, yeah, 4. One color of Lumina. You can always use those, although you'll get to a point where there's just nothing more you can equip that won't conflict with something else. Alright, let's get back to it. Go to sleep. How do you like that little G3 brigade I added in the lower left corner? Thought that might add some flair. Alright, that's the Coastal Cave. Interesting. I don't know why it went to the camp. I didn't hit the camp button. I don't know. So these guys just offer us additional weapons, which is useless, but they will fight us, so I guess we'll just fight them real quick. But they're not going to really be all that hard. So you can select options with the mouse. See? You can hover over it with the mouse. Or my preferred style is to use the W and S keys for up and down to select which one you want. Less mouse use is better, in my opinion. Mouse can mess with your wrist. Got him. All right, where's your weak spot, punk? There it is. It kind of blended into the background. Now that I've hit both weak spots, I think I'll take him out first. And done. That's what happens when you're OP. Overpowered. My son was talking about characters being OP. And my wife was asking, what does OP mean? And I was like, do you want to tell her? And my son was like, well, I don't actually know what it stands for. He kind of knew the meaning, but didn't know that it stood for overpowered. I think there's an item over here. This song I kind of like, but it's an interesting song. And if I had to say which songs felt a little out of place in the game, this is one I would list as slightly out of place. Not immensely so. The most out of place is the jazz song that plays in one part of the game. It's not a critical part, it's not a story part, it's an optional part, but it's very weird. It's very jazzy and has singing in English and just doesn't fit. Into the air, fast mode, flight, and let's go see what else we can tackle in the free aim only. We can actually go to the final boss right now. Stone Quarry. Did I already go through there? I have not memorized all the areas. I really should do that. I should play this so much. I know what every area is.
Unusual. What happened here?
Okay, so this is a special encounter. We'll grab this just for the hell of it. You have to learn how to parry this guy. You can't defeat him any other way. Because it's not a real fight. We're not going to be able to shoot him. You'll see what I mean. Skipping dialogue.
Not impressed. Bring it on.
Oh wait, I forgot which ones are supposed to hit me and which aren't. Okay, so I'm supposed to let the green ones hit me, but parry the red ones.
Oh well.
Parry the red.
Rest. Well. Let's try it. Well.
Okay, parry the red, parry the red. You just got to remember, don't parry the green. That'll screw it up.
Well, impressed. Bring it on. Bring it on. Oh well.
Okay, pretty easy once you realize the trick. If you wait until you can see it coming at you, you have to be real fast. But if you watch his actual trumpet, the trumpet itself will flash briefly, red or green, indicating what's coming before you can see the red or green orb. So actually that gives you plenty of time to prepare for it if you watch the flash of the trumpet. And then he gives you the healing parry, which is very useful if you need healing. But what we're going to do is just attack him. Although, yeah, screw it. We'll attack him. I don't think we left the other ones alive, so. Looks like he has a good amount of health. More than I was expecting, that's for sure. There may or may not be a secret to leaving all the white Nevrons alive. I'll let you guys figure that out for yourself. Ah, I dodged way too early. Already broke him. He's going down, probably in this turd right here. Probably. Yep. Thought so. And I think that's all that's left. If you do whatever they want you to do for them, complete their quest line. Some are harder than others. That's a quest line you can complete on the spot. Some of them you have to actually go somewhere else to do the quest line and then come back. If you complete the quest line, they give you something, and then you have the option to either attack them or leave them be. We'll go ahead and tackle this one. If you attack them and kill them, you get more rewards. But if you leave them all alive, there might be something to that. Gotta remember where this hitbox is. Nope, not yet. There it is. It's easy to bump into these characters on the overworld, not realizing how wide their hitboxes are for detection. Is that a weak spot? Get a break or not? Is that not a breakable weak spot? Sure looks like one. Whatever. I don't even need a weak spot on this guy. He'll be down before we know it. Although he appears to be resistant to whatever Lune's shooting. Oh, he's weak to Minoko. My hardest hitter. And Minoko takes her down. Nice. You get a polished chroma catalyst among other things. The polished chroma catalyst will upgrade your weapons to the maximum of 33, the magic number. 33 is quite the magic number in this game. There's a lot of optional content. We're not going to do it all, obviously. If we go to the boss right now, that will be a fairly quick ending to the stream, obviously. So instead, we could go in the painting workshop, although I don't think there's anything to fight in there yet. You have to go to all three to fight. It's Jay Viper and his posse of viewers. Welcome, everybody. It looks like we're being raided. Say hello to Jay Viper and friends, guys. Let's see. What should we do? There are so many things to tackle. We're going to fly around and find some of these overworld bosses. Again, the stuttering is due to live streaming and pushing my system to the limit with this game. This game is not super optimized. It's okay. It's better than a lot of UE5 games, Unreal Engine 5. But be aware that if you do see some of the stutters and lower frame rates, it doesn't normally do that if you're not streaming. However, if you try to play this with DLAA, and no upscaling, good effing luck, my friend. Good luck. My system's pretty powerful. I have an AMD Ryzen 7 9800X3D, an RTX 4080 Super, 32 gigabytes of RAM. It's on an NVMe M.2 SSD, all good quality, all fast. But I can't even run DLA without this thing dropping below 60. Let's go into Falling Leaves. Welcome, Zelly1 and J Viper. It's good to have you guys here.
Careful. Some expeditionist died here.
Okay.
There's an abnormal nevron roaming about.
Oh, this area has an abnormal nevron. That sounds fun. I like abnormal. Abnormal can be very good. If you notice a little bit of flickering, that's just because I have some mods installed to get rid of the excess fog, and sometimes the graphics don't quite match. I know what the game's supposed to look like, so I don't mind, but if you're playing this for the first time, I don't recommend disabling the excessive fog, because you'll see things you're actually not even meant to see.
Interesting.
The fog is obscuring your view, so occasionally if you go up to the edge of the map and look down, not here, but if you go up to an edge where you're not supposed to be able to see all the way down, without the fog, you'll see all the way down to some unfinished terrain. And obviously you're not supposed to be able to see that. Yes, make sure to like the stream, guys. You know what I keep forgetting to do? I keep forgetting to do this to start a poll. The poll is... How should I phrase it? Everyone says smash the like button. I don't like smashing things. You know what I mean? Why smash the like button? I got a better idea. There we go. And then you got to give silly answers too. There we go. And almost ready. Boom. The poll has begun. Let's push this forward here. We got some enemies in here. They're not going to give us too much trouble because we are so freaking overpowered. Not just all level 99, but also all the Lumina and whatnot. As you can see from the stream title, we are only shooting, which normally is just sort of an extra thing on top of what you do in the game. You're not really intended to play the game with all shots. You have to customize your build to really make it work. Otherwise, you just constantly run out of AP, which are your action points. That's the sap lady or the lady of the sap or something. I forget what she's called. I don't know exactly how she fits into everything. You got to watch some more lore videos. Exploring the lore of Expedition 33. There's some cool stuff if you go out of bounds using like anything that allows you to no-clip or some other kind of cheats. There's an entire area in Dark Shores that looks like it was originally meant to be explored because the developers even put in handholds, climbing points. There's an exit. There's all sorts of stuff in there. There are grapple points, but there's no way to access it without using some sort of hack or cheat. So, but that's pretty common to have cut content in these games. Whoops, I almost went into abilities. We're not supposed to do that. Any weak points? Nope. Don't care about shields. We eat through them like they're not even there. Gotta skip my turns because I can't use regular abilities. I do a skip turn and that brings me back to... Whoops! My mouse cursor went off to the second monitor. Easy mode, guys. Easy mode. Zelly never knew that the game could be so peachy. It sure can. It's all up to you when you're playing on PC. Of course, I've said this before in this stream. I like to repeat it. Please don't play this game for the first time with the 2B mods or any mods like this. It would kind of ruin the experience in some ways. You really should play the game with the normal characters the way they are. I mean, you can install a few mods, like the mod that allows the cutscenes to play at over 30. Yes, they locked cutscenes to 30 frames per second. I know, absolutely stupid, inane, dumb move by the developer. I don't know why they did it. They should know better, but that's what they did. Oh, let's get around these guys. They're just fodder at this point. By the way, watch this. If you didn't know, if you shoot the enemies before engaging in combat, while they're chasing you, it'll slow them down. Some more than others. We are playing mouse and keyboard because that's part of the PC Gaming Master Race. However, no matter how many times you shoot them outside of combat, it doesn't do any damage. It's just to slow them down and prevent them from chasing you. All right, here we go. These guys should be super easy because they're designed to be shot at. And so any of the enemies that you have to shoot usually don't have much health, because the developers knew you generally wouldn't do a ton of damage with your shots. But depending on how you spec your character, you can do massive damage by shooting. As you can see when I shoot, it shows all the lumina pop up on the screen. That's all the lumina and pictos that impact that move. So if you watch me shoot this character, boom, all that stuff that just popped up right there, all that text, those are all the lumina and pictos that apply to that shot. Boom. So it's nice that they show you what you have equipped and if it's being activated on your current move. I think that's all that's over there. However, I have so much stuff equipped, it scrolls off the screen. They can't even show it all. Can I get up there? No. Lune is kind of the best one, I think, to travel around as, because she floats, so she's very quiet. You'll notice if you play as any of the other characters, you can hear their footsteps, and they kind of huff and puff as they run. So if you want the quietest experience, you'll go with Lune. And then CL is the most awkward in the way she runs, because I swear she runs like it's just an all-out sprint for her life. I mean, look at her. It's just that she's getting a little too into that running animation there. Oh, I forgot. You can't grapple while in the air. It's not that much of a platformer. One bummer though is every time you hit a grapple point, it turns off your running mode and you have to activate sprint mode again. So if you're sprinting and you hit a grapple point, you will automatically stop sprinting and then have to hit the sprint button again. Several things will deactivate sprinting, forcing you to reactivate it, which is annoying. All right, I think we've kind of explored this. There's more to explore. There's a little mini kind of side quest in here, but I don't think it leads to any... Well, does it? Oh, you know what? It does lead to a major fight. I think we will do it. So what we want is the Lady of the Sap. We're going to go meet her again, talk to her, and then go talk to the Faceless Boy, and that will cause him to open up that gate, let us through, where we can get to the boss of this area. I just have to remember where she's at. I easily get turned around here. Well, she's not here, but that is some chroma. We don't need it. It's practically worthless to us right now. Shoot him so he can't catch us, and then get on down. If you've joined us from Jay's stream, please say hi. If you've just joined from anywhere else in the world, say hello. This stream is all about you guys, really. I mean, if you guys don't show up, I'm just talking to myself, which I've done before a few times. All right, come on now. I got to remember how to do this. I came in from the flag. I could use that mini-map. I keep forgetting it's there since it's not actually part of the game itself. It is. All right, so we come in this way, right? The mini-map is a mod, by the way. I don't think the sap lady's back this way. Can I get to her from this way? I don't think so. Let's see what we can see down there. Nothing of interest. What if I could just jump all the way down there? Oh, shit. Dude, seriously. That caught me off guard. Good thing he stopped when he did. Yeah, I think this just exits the area, doesn't it? Yeah, that's just the exit. So now we're going to have to find this lady, the sap. And we're going to go ahead and fight him. He's blocking us. He's not going to let us pass without a battle. Okay. Just blast our way through it. We're blasting so hard it's lowering the frame rate. Boom. Yes, Jay, Lune does have some serious cake, huh? Mael was replaced with 2B. She has been totally replaced. Have to specify that because of her canonical age in game. Although, I did a little bit of research, and it actually surprised me a lot. I'm making a video for Expedition 33, and as part of the research, I looked into stuff about the whole thing about Mael being 16 and all this stuff. I didn't know. I'm an American. I live in the United States, guys. I haven't for my whole life, but most of it. So I always thought that 18 was kind of one of the de facto ages for consent, and that there were a few states that were under 18. That's what I thought. I already went this way multiple times. Let's check the other way. However, yes, let's see. This is Sael. You know who they are. This is Lune. And this is what would be Mael. But obviously isn't. So it's important to keep in mind, given her canonical age of 16, that this is not Mael's body. It's not her face. It's not her hair. It's a complete replacement mod. It just replaces her with 2B. Same thing actually with CL, and same thing with Lune. This isn't a costume that you put on Lune's body. It's just a full replacement. So much so that if you don't, like, well, I'm not going to use Mael because of her canonical age. We're going to use Lune as an example. If you put a different head on her, like a different hairpiece that isn't associated with the mod, like this one, you can see what'll happen. The head detaches from her body because it doesn't work. You have to have the full mod, the wardrobe, and head hairpiece together, and then you don't have that problem of decapitation. So I think Our Lady of the Sap is hiding down here, right? Maybe around this corner, buried low, or up here. Well, I'll just fight him. Oh, I couldn't get him with the paint blast before he got me. It's surprisingly fun to use the free aim mode. It's so much better with a mouse and keyboard than with the gamepad. Gamepad, I'm not a fan of using a controller for first-person shooters or third-person shooters. Even like Horizon Zero Dawn or Forbidden West, which I didn't like as much as Zero Dawn. Zero Dawn I thought was okay. The Horizon games are so much better with mouse and keyboard. I originally played Zero Dawn on the PlayStation 4 before it came to PC, before we knew it was going to come to PC. And I just hated having to aim her bow and arrow and all that stuff with a gamepad. It just didn't feel right. Of course, to gamers who exclusively use gamepads, nope, this isn't the way. How can I not find this lady? I just found her. I better start using my minimap. To gamers that are just used to consoles and have never played mouse and keyboard, it probably sounds weird to them that I think using a gamepad in certain circumstances is awkward. But if you grow up on both PC and console like I have, you realize that there are pros and cons to the different control schemes. I'm not saying mouse and keyboard is always superior. It's not. So a huge issue with keyboards, 99% of keyboards, there are a few analog keyboards where you can push the key a certain amount and it registers the depth of the push. I don't like those. It's not quite an analog stick. What you have with a keyboard and mouse is the keyboard basically will allow you to actuate a key either on or off. So if you're talking about moving, let's say this is the normal, let's turn off sprint. This is normal pace. How do you walk? Well, on a gamepad, you take your gamepad, which I have one right here, and you push it all the way for the normal movement speed. And you let up a bit, and you only push it a little bit to walk. And then you usually hit a button to sprint. Like there's some sort of button on the gamepad to activate sprint mode. So you can do a regular walk, and you can activate sprint with shift. But how do you do the slow walk? Right? You can't partially push the W key, because most keyboards don't have analog controls. Well, you hit control in this game, and now you can walk. And see that 2B style sway going on. Hit control again, you're back to regular pace. Or hit sprint, and you're sprinting. So the way that they handle it on PC is is it down here? Let's try this. The way they handle it on PC, to have the 3 different speeds, the regular one, run, the sprint, and the walk, is just give you 2 different activator keys. One key activates sprint, and the other activates walk. Although the honest truth is, in most games, you rarely ever want to walk because it slows everything down. But, I mean, if you really like an area of a game, maybe you just want to kind of walk slowly through it and appreciate the view. But most of the time, people are happy enough to do the regular speed or sprint. And then there are those games where you're sprinting so damn fast, you go flying by everything, and you have to slow down to, like, get to an item or open a door because you're sprinting so fast you just zip by it. This is not one of those games. Lady the Sap, she has nothing to say. Oh, now she has something to say. I skipped through all the dialogue. You guys can read it for yourself in your own playthrough if you want to. Zelly says, likewise, gamepads always feel off on PC. I do think they feel off in first-person shooters. They feel off in third-person shooters. Any game that has a lot of shooting mechanics. They also feel way off for RTS, real-time strategy games. I just can't imagine trying to play a real-time strategy game. Like, you know, World of Warcraft 2, those kind of things, Civilization, all that. I can't imagine trying to play one of those with a gamepad. That seems like a handicap. But for third-person action games, like, say, Stellar Blade or Dark Souls, it feels very natural to me to use a gamepad. It actually feels better most of the time. This game is perfectly fine with a gamepad. Absolutely nothing wrong with using a gamepad. I just like mouse and keyboard. So I played it through 3 times using gamepad only. I played around with the mouse and keyboard for a few minutes, was like, nah. And then I decided, you know what? I'm going to make myself do nothing but mouse and keyboard and see what I think. And now I prefer mouse and keyboard. So, especially for the free aim shots. The free aim shooting is so much better. Although the free aim speed is a bit fast. What do you think? Can you aim that? Can you aim at that speed, guys? Of course, I can actually slow it down. I don't have to move it that fast. All right, now we got to find where the boy's at. Where are the boys at? There he is. There he is. I knew he was around here somewhere. Talk to him. He'll open the door. And the physics sometimes wig out when you start a conversation and cause the character's features to flap around. Let me show you. Watch. Now, look off to the side where you're about to see what would be Mael, but is 2B. Ready? Did you see it? It's pretty crazy. It's the fact that the physics carry over. Because I'm moving fast and sprinting, and then I immediately talk to him, the physics carry over into the dialogue and cause that insane jiggle, which is a mod. It's a mod. It's not part of the game normally, so. They did not put jiggle physics in the game, guys, all right? I'm not sure it would fit in the story, the aesthetic, the real feel of Expedition 33 to have jiggle physics. All right, so we are going to tackle this boss. He's never been tough when I'm overpowered using my abilities. I've never shot him down, so we'll see how that goes. Probably won't be too tough. Maybe we'll get to see what he does. Maybe I'll just dodge a few and skip turns just to see what he does, because I usually off this guy before he has a chance to do anything, especially using Mael's killer move, Stendhal. Stendhal deals extreme single-target void damage. 1 hit, removes self-shields, and self-applies defenseless. So, although you make yourself more susceptible to attack, Stendhal does massive damage. So much so that people were doing damage, single hit, 1 hit damage with Mael, literally in the billions. You heard that right. Billions of damage. It could one-shot anything in the game by far, so they nerfed it. And it's still powerful. You can still get it to do tens of millions of damage in 1 hit. So it can often one-shot still, even after the nerf, if you build Mael correctly and you level her up and whatnot, and you put her best weapon, really, if you want a Stendhal build, is Medallium, which you can get fairly early on in the game if you know how. It's not easy. There's one easy way to get it and one much, much harder way to get it. But if you miss the easy way, you have to get it the harder way. It's kind of considered her end-game best weapon for the most part, depending on your build. But if you want to use Stendhal, that's it. It also puts her in Virtuous Stance immediately, where she does 200% damage. It's all about stacking damage. You can also use CL to boost the damage of other players. CL has an ability that will double another player's damage. This is a cool cutscene, and there's no spoilers in it that I can remember. Yeah, gamepads are probably the best bet for platformers. I wouldn't want to play a platformer with a mouse and keyboard. You can. It's just not ideal. Let's see how much damage we'll do here. Okay, so this enemy has a good amount of health. Not a ton. But enough that I think he's going to last through our first turn. Now, we're about to break him, so we'll see what happens when he breaks. All right, he's going to break. Oh, I don't even know what he does. It's been so long. Okay, he didn't do anything. He just changed the color of the sky. He is broked. Oh yeah, good return on Lune's proc there. She procced a whole bunch of AP return, so she could just keep on going. Maybe we won't get him in the first turn. Maybe we'll get to see... Well, in order to see what this guy does, we'll have to skip some turns, because Mael and Lune go next. So let's do this. We'll skip. We'll just see what he does. I'll probably get hit, because I don't remember what he does, so I don't know exactly how to dodge it. Okay, he just did that thing where nothing happened again. Skip, skip, skip. Nevermind posted. Oh, the Salvage finally uploaded his video? I'll have to check it out later. Alright, so does he actually do anything? Okay, he's got the mask going. What's he gonna do? Oh, he's gonna die to burn. We didn't even get a chance to see what he does. He died to the burn. That's a bummer. All right. Well, you know, I'd hope to have a lot more YouTube subscribers by the time I made it into the exposed drama that happens. Usually the whole exposed is reserved for more popular YouTubers than I am. He actually gets some good rewards, but we already had them, so it's irrelevant to us. Alright, back to SKA's flight mode. We got some other stuff we could try to knock out. Let's see, I don't want to do the optional gestural mini games, because those are a giant pain in the ass, and apparently the developer Guillaume Brochet said he wanted to make them like intentionally bad, which all I gotta say is good job, dude. Good job, you succeeded. His goal was to try to make them seem intentionally bad like the old mini games and Final Fantasy games, which were never great. Alright, I like fighting these guys. They're not tough at this point because of my max level characters, max level weapons, and all the Lumina and shit I have stacked. But it's still fun to see them. They're just kind of cool looking, you know? They're so tall and enormous. They tower over you. Let's see. Will Mael take him down before he has a chance to do anything? No, not just my L. This guy's got a lot more health. So we'll have to cycle through a few more characters before we can take him down. Although we're about to break him. He's going to break. Lune's going to break him. Got him.
Let the ink flow.
All right. And he's gone. That's it. One of his moves is to actually swallow one of your characters. And then you lose access to that character until either you defeat him or you break him. If you break him during the fight and he's got one of your characters swallowed up, he'll spit the character back out. Which is kind of a neat mechanic. He's not the only one that does it. The Bourgeon does it and the Glissando does it. I think those are the only two. I don't know if any other characters do it. Old Lumiere. We've already been through there. We could... you know, you're not locked out of playing the rest of the content after defeating the final boss, so we could just go try and defeat the final boss and take it from there. That way that's done. I don't lose track, you know, because we'll hit like 2.5 hours and it'll be time to end the stream and I still haven't beaten the final boss. Oh, it's Sprong. Sprong. So, the one thing about Sprong is you can't get the drop on him by blasting him because the only way to get to him is either swimming with Esky or flying. So you can't use the paint shot to get off the first turn. You can use Lumina and Pictos to get the first turn. But we will tackle Sprong with the free aim only build here. He's a good fight. He's tough. You can encounter him fairly early on in the game, and you'll probably get your ass kicked because he's just so powerful. You could whittle him down in a long marathon fight, but better to wait. He gives you a really awesome Pictos, and I can't remember what it is, but it's a really good Pictos that you definitely want. So it looks like you can shoot in the holes there, and it still counts as a shot against him. Let me see. Okay. I was trying to see if it does more damage to his head, but I keep applying mark, which makes it harder to tell. Alright, so that's 18,000 to hit that. That's 8. Okay, so it looks like it's the same. I don't think it matters. He moves around a little, so you just got to make sure not to miss him, but he's a rather large target. And if you shoot the openings around him, it looks like it still counts as a shot. The openings are still part of the hitbox. And you get Go Blues combat music for this guy. Gotta dodge, because if I parry, I'll counterattack, and that kind of violates the principle of free aim only. Counterattacks are so powerful, you can beat the game just doing counterattacks. Oh, am I out of ammo? Oh, yes, I am. Okay, he's not going to be nearly as bad as I thought. Especially with Minoko here doing double damage. Surprised that we haven't broken him yet. He requires a lot of break damage, apparently. He's still not broken. He's like the Energizer Bunny. He just keeps going and going. Nice try, buddy. Fail on his part. Those are tough to dodge if you don't know what's coming. Because they kind of... He does this charge up, and then bam, it just pops out. You got to be ready for it. Oh, out of ammo already? A lot of this depends on RNG. Like there's a Pictos or Illumina, 20% chance to restore 1 AP on hit. And if that keeps proccing, then you can just keep on shooting. But it's all up to the random number generator. There we go. I really wish I could hit him with Minoko after breaking him, because he does that double damage. That would make it so much faster. This is one of the few fights so far in this playthrough where the enemy actually gets a chance to attack us. We've been mowing down most of these guys before they even have a chance to respond, which is kind of disappointing, but it's New Game Plus, but then again, I'm super OP, so, you know, level 99 and all, on all characters, all weapons max.
That was one of her first creations.
Verso has a thing to say about that. If you kill him very early in the game, you actually won't get a chance to hear what Verso has to say about it. Alright, the Crushing Caverns, I think this is the one where the ground falls out underneath us, and then we get trapped and we have to kill that thing before... Yeah, it is. Hey, let's go get that item. That's an item. I want that item. Oh, it's a Dark Souls style fall through the floor. You were trying to get an item. And there's this dude who moves around, but very, very slowly. Looks like an alien from an outer space world full of trees. Oh, I bumped into his hitbox before I had a chance to paint blast it.
The dance begins.
So it doesn't seem to matter where we hit him right there. I don't think he has a weak point. The way this works is there's a countdown timer, and if it counts down, the walls smash into you and kill your party instantly. So you got to take this guy down before that happens, which should be easy. It looks like it's going to be easy to do that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no problem. They haven't even started moving the walls yet. And done. We didn't even get the first warning about the walls closing in. I think that's similar to a fight in Final Fantasy. I think there's a battle in Final Fantasy where... Is there something back here? Where the walls are closing in as you're fighting, and if you don't burn down the boss or whatever in time, that's it. It's over. You die. It's like instant death for the party. Which I guess is kind of a cool mechanic. It's a DPS race. You have to do enough damage in a short enough amount of time.
Good stuff.
And a journal. I'm not collecting all of them on this playthrough. I've collected them all before. I've maxed out achievements on this game. Boop. And we fall back down. Which is no point in falling back down. So let's get out of here. Let's head towards the final encounter with the final boss, which will be a little bit of a spoiler. But it's unavoidable because as much as I skip cutscenes and dialogue, the final encounter, I mean, you're going to see it. So there's no way to not see it, you know? The stream is not as fun to just listen to. Maybe it is, but you probably want to see it. That's one of the few areas where you get to see Esquier off to the side while you're in there. All right. Let's Z to bring him up. Jump to fly in the air. And shift to speed. There we go. Easy to find. You look for the distorted Eiffel Tower. There may be a point in the game where you can see the Eiffel Tower in its original state. Maybe. I don't know. You'll have to play it for yourself to find out. And I think there's an item over on one of these areas, right? In the overworld, maybe? Am I remembering incorrectly? Yeah, maybe I'm remembering incorrectly. It's not actually over here. It's over here, but after you get inside. They give some awesome music for this segment. Now we'll skip that. Don't want to reveal anything we don't have to, guys. Boom! Don't have to fight him. Sometimes this flag doesn't activate. I don't know if that's intentional, but whatever. We don't need it.
These expeditioners are glorious wreakers of havoc.
We're gonna let our buddies here do all the heavy lifting as much as possible. Uh-oh. That one killed him. I'll fight one of these so you guys can see it. It's these are some interesting enemies. We've seen them before in the last stream in a different area, but notice if you shoot this black orb, that looks like a weak spot, right? Shoot the spot that kind of stands out. It absorbs all damage. Don't shoot it. It's completely useless to shoot. Whoop. I hit it a few times by mistake. It actually does move your reticle as you fire, so you have to pull the mouse down as you're firing. Otherwise, it continues to go upward. Kind of like if you're shooting a gun, it will actually kind of move upward a little bit, so you have to bring it back down. Anyone that has experience shooting firearms knows. Recoil control. You got to control the recoil on the firearm. Pretty intense violin. If you're like my mother-in-law, you would, and you're not a gamer, you would hear this music and have the response of, that doesn't sound like video game music, because she literally said that when she was over here before. And I say, yeah, there's a lot of different music out there now in games. Games have come a long way from the bleeps and bloops and the little chip tunes. There are still games with chiptune style music, but nowadays games can have all sorts of music, up to and including actual pop music that you would hear on the radio. GTA, I'm looking at you. I don't like GTA, I'm not a fan, but I know it's like one of the most popular series in the world. I just can't stand it. Based on what I do, I have no desire to see that in a video game. That's me. Hey, you know, if you want to play it, I'm not going to stop you. It's just kind of like the decay of urban society, criminal culture, drugs, violence. I deal with enough of that on a regular basis to not want it in my games.
Now's our chance.
Yes, Maggie, I remember back in the day downloading the MIDI versions of video game songs, and this was pre-MP3. So there was a time when if you wanted to download a song from a game, you had to either get the MIDI or download the WAV file, and those things could be very big and take a long time to download. Of course, nowadays you can download a WAV file in no time flat. But when MP3 first came out, it was a game changer for allowing people on the internet to share and download music, whether legally or not. You could actually download music in a reasonable amount of time. All right, which way? We'll go this way. And then, after the intense violin and such, they bring in the guitars. Because why not? Why not? Why not just throw it all in there? Well, that guy just made short work of all of our buddies. So, we're going to have to tackle him ourselves. They didn't last. They all got one shot by him. We, however, have no intention of being one shot by this creep. This is probably the creepiest looking thing in the game. It has a giant skull face. It's definitely the most... I think it's probably the most grotesque thing in the game in terms of what you fight, enemy-wise. You can blast that little thing, and I forget what it does, but you can actually break it, I believe. It just takes a lot of hits. Okay, now it's gone. It probably takes away some ability or something like that. Sometimes hitting a weak point will disable one of their abilities. Or cancel a debuff that they place on you. Which is pretty cool. That adds a whole new element to the combat. And the way the weak point is on this thing, it's almost like an anglerfish. Alright. He's about to break. Break him, Minoko. Break him. There you go. Almost 500,000 in one shot. And he's down for the count. Transport Tycoon Deluxe. Yeah, I remember all those games. Roller Coaster Tycoon. And there was a time when I played games just because they were games. But, you know, as I got older, I've kind of refined my tastes and not really big into Sims anymore. I was never huge into them, but I would play them. Just because, you know,
Good stuff.
game is game, therefore I play game.
The Opera House.
I'm going to show you a little secret here that's not too hard to find. If you go all the way out here, you'll notice a little activation point that you can interact with. And it says there's something in the water. You ask SK to bring it up. You don't actually see him do it. You get an Expedition Journal.
William, Expedition 16. They mocked us when we said the human body is the strongest of them all.
Pay attention to this.
We trained relentlessly, and now our bodies
Not a
have
story
achieved
spoiler.
the pinnacle of human performance, with which we are able to crush our enemies.
Dry lips.
We are so much more agile and aerodynamic without the heavy uniforms constraining our glorious muscles. With Leslie's unstoppable training regime, we are impervious. That's how we were able to charge through that ghostly Gamage barrier and reach the Paintress. But it seems we've been wrong about what she is. The Paintress is just as trapped as we.
So it says
The
without
real
the
terror
uniforms.
lies beneath the monolith.
So they're
The rest of
expeditioning
Expedition 16
without
marched
the
on to
uniforms.
confront him, while I was tasked to warn Lumiere. But it seems I might have run out of time. One last swim separates me from Lumiere. But even with my mighty muscles, I don't know if I can outswim the Gamage.
Right here.
So here I write my final message. Bare naked muscles will save the world. And don't waste time on the Paintress.
So they talk about not wearing the uniforms and having bare naked muscles. So anyone that tells you that the naked expedition mod does not fit in the world of Expedition 33 has not paid attention to Journal 60. Expedition Journal 60 literally refers to an expedition that went about their battle completely naked.
Great.
No clothes. We will not be doing that here, though. YouTube and Twitch will not like that.
Interesting.
We are very close to the end, the final boss encounter. By the way, I tried to get to those things using a sort of no-clip hack. I couldn't reach them. I couldn't get to them fast enough to see if they're actual real enemies you can encounter and fight, but I don't think they are. I think they're just backdrops.
What are they doing here?
So the one in the middle is one of the highest level enemies in the game, the Contortionist, and can be a very difficult fight. But if you're super high level like I am, and know what you're doing, and have all your Pictos and Luminous stacked up to the max, it won't be too much trouble.
On guard.
I'm just getting rid of his little buddies here first. Alright, now it's time to tackle him. If you can manage to hit that eyeball-looking thing, you'll do more damage, but it's very hard to hit while he's moving like this. But he does go into a position where sometimes he'll fall down, and it's much easier to aim at it. It does appear to be a pretty good weak point, even though it doesn't like light up or flash. It doesn't look like a normal weak point. Oh, this guy, will he have a chance to fight us? Maybe, we'll see. Nope, we broke him. Not with that break. Looks like Minoko did massive break damage right there when he started out. Let's go this way. I think this is the main path. It is cool that there are lots of side paths you can take that give you extra items, things to discover, lore, Pictos. The game is not just... It's not linear, so to speak. It's mostly linear, but not entirely linear. Especially once you hit Act 3. Once you hit Act 3, you can pretty much go anywhere in the world you want. That's when the world completely opens up.
Overflowing.
Oh, he's about to break. I can sense it.
Chroma is flowing.
And also I can tell because he has a break bar. And you can just look at the break bar. And of course I have a Lumina equipped that allows my shots to actually break enemies. Under normal circumstances, free aim shots would never break an enemy. You have to use a special skill. Like if you go into the skills and look at them. So if you take a look at Burning Canvas, doesn't mention anything about break, combustion, Fencer's Fury. But if you look at, say, where's it at? Payback. Notice at the bottom what it says? Can break. And if you look at... There's another one too. Fleuret's Fury. I thought that one did it. That one doesn't do it? One of these... That one too. Fleurette Fury. That one can break. So certain abilities can break an enemy and others cannot. If it's not specifically listed as one that can break, it will not break them. So they'll just stay at full break, but not actually break. You need to use an ability that can break. And that includes also your gradient attacks. Some of those can break.
Almost there.
Mael, let's go.
We'll go grab this item, although I think there's is there an enemy here? Nope. I always think there's going to be an enemy there. Fortunately, the developers, Sandfall Interactive, they don't put in a lot of gotcha moments, which I appreciate. Not a big fan of those gotcha moments where they put a shiny in front of you, and then when you go to get it, something leaps out at you or the ground falls. They very rarely do that. You saw one case where they do actually do that here, but it's good because it's part of the level and it's part of the whole boss design and the idea of that you're being trapped and have to fight your way out of the trap. Would talk to him. He sells a lot of cool stuff, but we already have it all. You retain all of your gear in New Game Plus. You don't keep the music records or the expedition journals, though. Those you have to get again. But all your Pictos, learned Lumina,
I can't
weapons,
sustain the expedition as much longer.
all that stuff you keep.
Ned, we need to defeat them fast.
Very much like Chrono Trigger in a way. So they kind of apply a bit of a Chrono Trigger approach. Zelly says, messing around with extracting DS games music to MIDI. Yeah, I never did my own MIDI creation or anything. But by the time the DS came out, obviously we had MP3s and whatnot. And then MP3 got much better. When MP3 first came out, it didn't sound the best. But it's all we had, and most people didn't have super high quality audio gear on their computer, so it was good enough. Notice Lune's shots will hit another target. That's one of her specials on her weapon. So she's very useful in fights that involve 2 or more enemies. But if you're just fighting one enemy like Simon, it doesn't do any good. It doesn't double down on the same enemy. It can only hit another enemy if there is one. Alright, no problem. So this is arguably one of, if not the toughest normal enemies in the game. It has a massive amount of health and can do massive amounts of damage. But again, like I said, when you're freaking OP as hell and stacked all the Lumina and Pictos, nothing is too difficult except Simon. Simon never becomes easy. You cannot be too overpowered for Simon. Although you can create somewhat broken builds that do massive amounts of damage. And then you're one-shotting just about everything in the game. She ran out quick. There we go. There we go. Oh, and then she's out. I love it when it keeps proccing and you just kind of shoot what seems like almost forever. Bam! Nice. Only thing he did was apply inverted, which doesn't matter. I already apply that to myself. There are debuffs that actually have a bonus to them.
Pause over there.
What with inverted, you
Don't
cannot
remember
heal.
we need to bring
So
Grifting in here.
if you care about healing your characters, you would not want inverted. You can't access the expedition flags while the characters are talking. So you gotta wait for them to finish talking, and then you're good. Alright, so, spoiler moment. There's no way to avoid it. If you don't want the final boss spoiled, you should probably not watch this part. I don't know how long the fight's going to go on, obviously, but you could leave the stream going with audio only and not watch it because I'm not going to say what's happening. However, there will be some dialogue. I'll try to skip as much as I can as long as it allows me to skip it all. The cutscene is skippable, thank goodness. Sandfall did a good job in making pretty much all cutscenes skippable. I don't think any of them are unskippable. Unskippable cutscenes are a game developer's sin that should never be committed. All cutscenes should be skippable all the time from New Game Plus onward. That's a lesson Sucker Punch doesn't know with Ghost of Tsushima. A lot of companies don't realize that regardless of whether it's the first playthrough or not, some people just don't want to watch the cutscenes. It's the way it is. Don't make them. Okay, so spoiler, unavoidable spoiler. I'm going to skip through as much as I can, but this is your warning. You've been warned, guys, okay? So we're about to go into spoiler territory here for in-game. We're not going to watch the ending, but you're going to see something that's at the very end. And here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do this thing. Forces you into walk mode briefly. Let you know shit's about to get serious. This guy shouldn't be too tough. Even not shooting the head, I think we can just get away with shooting the body. He's going to get some shots off on us, though. I don't think we're going to take him down in the first round.
The element's done.
But again, if you do all the optional content before the final boss, even in New Game, you will be overpowered. And the final boss will be pretty easy. So that's kind of a disappointment, maybe something that they didn't balance properly. Because if you go straight to the final boss, it's a really good fight, it's difficult, it's a challenge. If you do some, not even all, just a reasonable amount of the optional content before the final boss, you'll be pretty much over-leveled, and the fight will be too easy. So that's something to consider. I don't know how they could do it otherwise. Maybe like have them scale, possibly. Although, you know, oh, whoops, I forgot to do the second dodge there. A lot of people hate scaling. I get that. But I don't know. I don't have another idea for how to resolve that kind of thing. Of course, if you have a boss do a maneuver, for example, that like takes your health to 1, then it doesn't matter how powerful you are. If you go to 1 health, you're 1 hit away from death. Alright, I think at this point it's going to go into a story-based... No, not yet. Okay. He's just broken. A couple of people bailed out, and I don't blame them. I'm glad they did. Anyone that doesn't want the ending or the end game fight spoiled has left, and that's, I respect that. I'd rather they leave so they can experience it for themselves than stay here in my stream and have it potentially spoiled. Some people care a lot more about spoilers than others. I will say, for a game like Expedition 33, it is very, very spoilable. I don't think that's a word, but this is the kind of game that if you find out things about the story, it will spoil a lot of it. Like, not all games can be spoiled so easily. This one can be. So if you want to experience the story, I recommend you jump in as soon as you can before you stumble upon info that ruins part of the story, or at least spoils it, not necessarily ruin. It's one of those games where you find out things and it changes everything. Serene rescues Renoir. What? Give him like 7 million health. As you notice, there's talking during the fight, and I can't skip it. He'll say things. It's unavoidable. Goodbye. And that's it. We won. He left. We're all done now, guys. Well, I just want to say thanks for joining my... Oh, hold on now. All right, wait. Hold on. Nope. He's back. He was just taking a brief coffee break, I guess. Or maybe he had to use the restroom. Maybe there's a toilet in there. I mean, we are trying to defeat him, but I think we should have enough respect for people to say, even in the middle of a battle, if you gotta, like... If you gotta pee or something, we should all just take a break, let the person pee, and then come back to the fight. Am I right? Like, you don't want to be fighting somebody and he's like pissing himself. That's just not cool. You know? You don't need to subject people to that. Zelly, I hear what you're saying about, like, you can watch a playthrough, but you have to experience it yourself. However, if you watch a full playthrough, it will change how you look at the game as you play it. I think it's best experienced playing it with a fresh set of eyes. Of course, nothing can really spoil the gameplay so much. It doesn't have the kind of gameplay where it's like discovering or like solving puzzles and secrets, where that kind of gameplay can be spoiled if you want to solve the puzzle yourself. There's really not much of that, if any, so the gameplay cannot be spoiled, really. Oops. I screwed that one up. I screwed it up twice in a row. At least I got the third one. Music gets pretty wild, too. Can I shoot anything else around here? I didn't think so. Nothing else is shootable. If it's shootable, it'll give a red crosshair. See, that's red. Move away from the target, it's white. White means it's not going to shoot anything. So you know what can be shot when the reticle is red. Oh, she ran out of ammo. Quick! Alright, he's approaching the break point. We got this, guys. Uh-oh, he's unleashing his full power. He's zipping around here. Is he leaving? He's leaving again. He's got to take another break, guys. Eventually he'll come back. Eventually he'll do something, okay, guys? Okay, that dodge was way too early, but it still counted, and that was so early it didn't count. All right. He should break on the next shot. Yep, we got it. Break. They're easier to shoot when they're broken because they don't move as much when you hit them. So it's easier to maintain a target like their head or a weak point or something. But usually if they're broken, the weak point's gone at that point. Ah, I missed with his first 2 shots. That sucks. All right. It's down to the wire, guys. Is he going to zip all around again? No. Okay, it's a story moment. It's such a story-based moment that Mael is no longer replaced with 2B and looks like just regular Mael. It overrides the mod. It's such an important moment that the game says no to mods. It says no mods here, guys. We're not tolerating these mods. Main Ace Jace, how's it going, man? I haven't seen you in a bit. I'm good. We're coming towards the end point of the stream since we killed the final boss here. Might be a slightly shorter stream, but we did. Oh, nice shot there. Nice shot there, 2B. Oh, we gotta skip that. Skip it. Skip it. Skip it. But at this point, we're skipping everything because it's all cutscenes. Except for the final choice. Again, major spoiler. Major spoiler. So, I already gave the warning. I'm going to give it again. There's unavoidable spoiler territory up here. Obviously, since we beat the final boss, that was spoilerish. This is very spoilerish as well. Unavoidable. So, if you want to bow out and leave, don't blame you. No hard feelings. You should definitely experience this game for yourself. I'd rather, if anyone hasn't played it and cares about spoilers, I'd rather see the concurrent viewer number hit 0 than have it be any number higher than 0 of people disappointed that the game was spoiled. It's just that good of a game. So I don't think you should have the experience spoiled. That's my opinion. All right, you guys ready? Spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Main Chase, oh, so you finally moved. Yes, I remember you mentioning that. It sucks not having internet. Internet's on that hierarchy of needs. It's like right down there with food, water, and shelter. Yeah, there's that's not untrue, Zelion. I just want to warn people so no one gets caught off guard. All right, should we fight as Mael or fight as Verso? What do you guys think? We're going to end that poll and start a new poll. There aren't a lot of you left because people bailed out for spoiler avoidance reasons. Here we go. There's not a lot of us left at this point, but I'm going to give it to you guys. Should we fight as Mael or fight as Verso? I know I didn't show you the story segment, but basically, I'm going to keep this as brief as possible. Mael and Verso have 2 different approaches to how to resolve an issue. And there's such disagreement between them that they can't resolve it by talking. So it comes down to a battle of Verso versus Mael, Mael versus Verso. You get to choose which one you pick to fight as. And that chooses the ending. It chooses how the situation is resolved. So if you have a chance to vote, please do. Like I said, I know there's not a lot of people left. We had upwards of like 14, 15 people. And then once I started talking about dangers of spoilers, we dropped pretty quickly way down from that, which is to be expected. And that's fine. No hard feelings there. All right, Verso's in the lead so far. If you get a chance, take a look at your screen. There should be a poll on it. I don't know how it works on mobile. Are people able to vote on mobile? I would imagine so, right? I hate using mobile. I prefer to use a real computer. I don't even like using tablets. I like real computers. I'm old school. I want a desktop computer. Laptops are okay if you really need the mobility. I don't really take my computer anywhere and don't need to. So I'm all about having that desktop machine. It's cheaper to get hardware in a desktop than to fiddle in a tight little tiny space, and then it has to be a custom device. And you know, you can get a portable PC for, some of them are expensive, like these Steam Deck like devices that are very powerful. They can be $1,200, $1,800, or you could spend less than $1,000 and have a computer of equal or greater power. So that's how it is. All right, looks like Verso's in the lead. Should we go with Verso, guys? I'm just going to end the poll now. I don't want to take too long here. It's Verso. We're fighting as Verso. I tell you, the people that voted Verso, that's what I went with my first playthrough. I agreed with Verso's take, and then I played back through it and picked my L's on the second playthrough. But I'm in agreement with Verso. I'm on the Verso team and his approach to it. I think he's got the right idea. Oh, it is showing my L in her modded outfit. I thought it reverted back to normal. Okay, we're still shots only, so you guys probably haven't seen Verso at all in this playthrough, because I don't think I've used him yet, but here we go. Okay, she's a little more hefty on the health pool than I thought she'd be. Not a big deal. We'll still win, but she has more health than I thought she'd have. And of course, they give the other character more health than they had in your party. Otherwise, it'd be a really short fight. You just kill them in one shot. Oh, I can't cancel this. It's just happening, okay?
Doing the same thing to each other.
I can't stop it, guys. I can't. Okay, here we go. We're back. Zelly, yes, thank you for the £5. Verso for the win. Verso's gonna win it. We know he is, especially for £5. He's very excited to get the win on Mael now. It just feels weird hitting Mael and hearing her grunts from being attacked. I'm surprised she hasn't attacked yet. Oh, I dodged way too early, but somehow it still counted. Woo! I do not know how to dodge Mael because I don't normally fight her, guys, okay? I'm not really well experienced fighting Mael, okay? I don't even feel bad about it. But it looks like it's over. I think this is it. That's it. Thank you again, Zelly. Very much appreciated. That is the final battle of the game. The true final boss of Expedition 33 is none other than Mael herself, or Verso. Depends on which one you pick. Now, I know it's disappointing that you're not going to see the results, but you guys got to play it for yourself. Now, I don't want to like show the ending of the game and have somebody stay and then regret having seen the ending spoiled. So there's nothing left at this point but to skip. It's all cutscenes. By the way, there's some content in the game where it appears that instead of having a recorded video, which is what plays at the end, instead of having a recorded video, they were going to actually render it in the game engine. If you look at the in-game CGI cutscene video, whatever, you'll see that the setting, all the characters and whatnot, the exact setup, is a setting that you can find in the game if you do a no clip and go out of bounds and see stuff that you're not supposed to be able to see. So they started putting together that setting as an area in the game so that the game would render in-game engine for the ending, but obviously they changed their minds and just pre-recorded a video for it, which is fine, but you do notice when it's a recorded video versus in-game engine. So a lot of people talked about how Expedition 33 only had 33 developers, and that is kind of true, but there's a catch to that. I think the number of developers that worked on it depends on exactly how you count them. There's one in particular, and that's the dog at the studio. And no, I'm not joking. The dog at the studio is being included, I'm pretty sure, as one of that supposed 33. And they've never confirmed they have exactly 33 employees. So we don't know if they have really 33 people all full-time employed. You'll also notice that the longer you watch the cutscenes, the more you realize if you were to actually write down all the names, there are more than 33. That does not mean the studio has more than 33 people. It just means that more than 33 people worked on it. For example, vocals, the voice acting, they don't work for the studio. Jennifer English, who voices Mael, is not an employee of Sample Interactive. She just did the voice work, but she's listed there. You'll also notice, and I don't think I can fast forward, otherwise I would, that there are some Korean names listed in the credits. And that is because they outsourced some of the animations and animation work to, I believe, a Korean studio. South Korean, obviously. We don't do a lot with North Korea. Neither does France. Not many countries do a lot of work with North Korea. But when you outsource some work, they don't really count as employees of the studio. But some people have incorrectly stated that this game was made by a group of only 33 people. Now, I get not including the voice actors as the ones making the game, because they didn't make the game, they worked with the developers. They are part of it, obviously, but I wouldn't consider a voice actor someone that's helping so much as design or develop or build the game. In a way they are. But more than 33 people worked on the actual development of the game. Mainly the outsourced animation work and whatnot. Which is not a problem, I don't mind. It's fine. It just sort of blows the whole only 33 people worked on it thing out as a myth. Which it is a myth. Not a big deal either way. Boom. Take a look at that guy's gameplay animation. Don't see a lot of French names there. Not a big deal, like I said. I'm just kind of pointing out something. And then, of course, QA testers. I would never consider the quality assurance testers to be part of the development team so much. You do need them, but typically that's outsourced work. You might go through a publisher or some other company, find people to do the testing for you, and have them test it. But they don't directly help develop the game. They help just point out bugs or issues or things that players could do that the developers didn't intend for them to do that might kind of break the game. Or, you know, for example, quality assurance testers, gameplay testers will look for things like ways to jump and move around and phase through something. Like in Bloodborne, if you get hit by an enemy in a certain way at a certain point in the game, it can actually phase you through a gate that you're not intended to get through yet, and then you can skip a large portion of the game. And that's what a lot of speedrunners do. They find ways to sort of glitch, or not hack, but glitch the game to skip content. The quality assurance team and the gameplay testers are meant to find that stuff and, help the developers fix it. Say like, oh, hey, by the way, right here, if you jump at this certain angle and then do this maneuver and then use this special ability while in midair, it'll cause you to move in this direction, and you can get over this gate here that you're not supposed to. I think that became an issue in Elden Ring with, what's her name's, what was that ability called? The waterfowl? maneuver. I think people in Elden Ring were finding ways to use some of the abilities to actually break the game's normal flow of gameplay and path to where you could get around stuff you weren't meant to get around. And of course, they try to fix that stuff. Big long discussion to say quality assurance is not really, they're not really employees so much. And then obviously they didn't include all of the musicians because they're not actually employees of the development studio. And this guy here got his own segment of additional instrument. Why they separated out the harp and made it its own segment in the credits, I don't know. That's, you could just put the harp with the other instruments. Is the harp really that special? Kepler Interactive. Yeah, Kepler seems to be a cool publisher. They seem to be bringing on some good studios. And whatever that is, with a bunch of Chinese names, and they included their Chinese names in Chinese and in Romanized English letters. Playtesting and mock reviews. Mock reviews. That I have no idea. I don't know what that's referring to. I kind of want to look into that. What is a mock review? Like, do they pretend to review the game to give the studio an idea of how it's going to be reviewed when it actually releases, and so maybe they want to change something? What? He uses Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine copyright 1998 to 2025. This thing is really hanging on. Although really it's gone through so many iterations. The Unreal Engine, the first Unreal Engine is nothing like Unreal Engine 4 or 5. It's a different engine. It just uses the same name. Would I chuckle if someone's named in the credits as Gunnar or Kunari? But, you know, there are people of so many different ethnic backgrounds that you might expect some of the names to be something that in our language or your language would be weird or unusual. It's interesting. I've studied quite a few languages, Japanese being one of them. And there's a certain word that you can say as like a stalling word, similar to or that in another language means anus. So you could just imagine what that sounds like when they're listening to someone speaking a language, and every time they say they hear it as anus being repeated over and over again. So there are several cases like that where you have to be aware when you do translation work and pick names of how those special names, those proper nouns will come across to people in different cultures. And you wouldn't want to pick one that gives the wrong impression. Like Dark Souls was originally going to be called, I think, Dark Ring. But in some English-speaking cultures, that has a negative sort of colloquial connotation of referring to, once again, anus. I don't know why it keeps coming back to that. I don't want that. We just cancel that conversation entirely. All right, well, we're pretty much towards the end of a normal length stream, and I don't want to start something for like 15, 20 minutes and quit. You know, if we're going to start something, we're going to go deep into it. That is Expedition 33. I may do some additional kind of challenge playthroughs, but I'm not the type where I want to make a game super difficult for myself. This was more of a fun challenge playthrough. It turned out not to be a challenge. It was shockingly easy, but I could have upped the difficulty and added some challenge modifiers, and I probably should have. But then you get to the point where, do you want to just make battles take a really long time because everything has a ton of health? That's not really that fun, to just give everything a ton of health and make everything a bullet sponge. In this case, bullet, as you're shooting something, not necessarily bullets. Thanks for joining me, guys. Again, Zell, really appreciate the What do they even call these things in YouTube? I don't even know, man. What do they call them? Thanks, shout outs, super chats, super chat. That's what it's called. The 5-pound super chat was an awesome stream. Appreciate everything. If you haven't already, make sure to follow, subscribe, whatever it is that you do on the platform you're watching. There's people over there on Twitch, maybe. No, there's no one on Twitch right now. It's just me. I'm alone over on Twitch. But everyone on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, like, all that good stuff. If you're watching this after the fact, please do like the video, leave a comment. And as always, my friends, keep gaming, keep gooning. Wait, I messed it up. Keep gaming, keep grifting, and keep gooning. I'm Fox with RealMarcFoxx, part of the G3 Brigade, signing out.